is so much kawawa yung Pilipino eh. So, sabi ko, mapag-usapan natin yan. So it has to be tackled by so that make it clear, we are, don't cut this particular portion because it's very important. It's a more valid reason to stop a doctor or a nurse than the previous one, which said that we will be deprived of workers. Walang ano yun, walang masyadong, no leg to stand on actually. But this one, if I send you to a war front, the enemy is the COVID, the microbes, parang maawa ako. Please do not misunderstand me. I am making it clear now. I do not want you to go there and come back in a coffin. That's my only argument, if you may, because you are Filipinos at mahal ko ang mga buhay ng kababayan ko. The COVID is here to stay. The vaccine prevents the entry of the microbes into the body because they are attacked by the vaccines that were given by us. It's the same germ, weakened one, but our body is now attuned. Alam na niya na kalaban ito. Ang problema kasi nitong COVID na ito, pagpasok sa katawan, hindi alam ng antibodies. So it was really a very virulent one na overtaken yung ating defenses. Now, itong vaccine, pag nabigyan ka bakuna tayong lahat, kaya maliit pa, hindi na sila makapasok because once they attempt to infect you, ang antibodies, makilala na niya na kalaban ito. So, yun, that's the vaccine. So, now, that is how dangerous it is for itong ating mga health workers. Then again, we go back to that we cannot be forever like this. I have to, you'll just have to pound on your goddamn brain. Maghanap tayo ng paraan ko papaano talaga to. Whether we transport people or workers in buses provided by companies, sanitized, and wearing masks, importante po, whether or not there is really a medication or a medicine for COVID, it is still here, trying to, naghihintay lang yan kung sinong masakyan yan. So, importante talaga, wear masks. Ang batas is really to enforce it. Now, you have the police, but there is not much really in the provinces. So, it's going to be, whether they like it or not, the armed forces must come in to help enforce a measure that is intended to protect the people and prevent the spread of COVID any further. Now, sa Zamboanga, Cagayan, ngayon lang pumutok. That's a problem because before, narinig ko na, I do not want to quarrel with the mayors, but they took the warnings nonchalant. Now, one contamination to the other, ngayon pumutok na. So that's a problem. Now you see, you've heard that there are still thousands to worry about of returning Filipinos to our country. Now, itong isa is whether we can stop them from going out. Na i-reverse mo yan. The problem now is itong mga Pilipinong pabalik, hindi tinatanggap ng local governments. Now, it will boil down to the power of the President to promulgate rules and regulations to protect public health, which is actually an exercise of the police power of the state, as against the Bill of Rights. Because some workers coming from the outside are not welcome. Simply, they are not being accepted by the local governments. So mahirap ito. This is a constitutional issue. I'd like to address myself to the local executives. It is your duty to help and protect your constituents. I have no quarrel na you want the contagion stop right there at the doorstep. Huwag ka na lang pumasok dito because it contaminates the whole of the family in the house. But you know, Filipinos are citizens of this country. And whether we like it or not, they have this constitutional right to travel and to travel abroad and to come home after working there. This cannot just be just by wave of the hand. So we have to study this. We'll have to spend again. We will have to gather them in a place. Or yung mga hindi nagamit, doon na muna sila, and then we can make provisions for the food and everything. Rather than just leave them there stranded. If they have the money in their pockets, I'm sure that was intended as a saving for the family. At mauubos yung pera na yan. At they would go home with their pockets empty. We do not want that to happen. So, I would like to assure mga kababayan ko, gusto kong maghanap ako ng paraan na tulungan kayo. Yung mga kababayan ninyo, mga kapatid, na mother, father, sister, brother, stranded here, kung clear na, if they are really cleared by the medical authorities, that is binding, especially if it is, well, it has to be the certification of the Department of Health. If the Department of Health, your department, Secretary Doge, would certify that she has undergone the test not only against the presence of antibodies, but the virus itself, that she is virus-free, then we have to make arrangement that they can go home. Maghanap tayo ng paraan. We'll just ihatid talaga natin ito sila doon kasi we have a stalemate here. What do we do with people waiting tapos okay naman sila? So, you have to go into a testing, each and every one of them, and find out if they are fit to return, and that she or he is not a threat to the community. But to say that just hindi kayo pwedeng pumasok even coming from abroad, and even if staying there for already more than 14 days without anything happening to them, then the national government, makinig kayong local executives, the national government will insist that you accept the OFW. Magkakaroon ho tayo ng problema if you resist. Because then, as a worker of government, it falls upon my shoulders to see to it that everything is done fair and I'll listen to Vince, okay.
Mayor, just on that note po, just for your information po, nung pong nag-lockdown po tayo nung March, meron pong mga 200 na OFWs na na-stranded po sa Clark, most of them from Mindanao, 38 of them from Davao. And we took care of them po, we housed them in a hotel for about a month and a half now. And I'm happy to report po through the help of the Department of Transportation and the National Task Force